poppin' T-Love gang? It's your boy Chris. We coming at you guys for episode 19 of the Lockup Podcast.
Oh, let's go. I'm on the run this week. I'm in San Antonio chilling. I've got some band stuff to do, but I managed to knock out this podcast with Chris, and we ball. We ball.
Yeah, we stay ballin'. Yeah, this boy's out in San Antonio performing with his band, Backdraw Violet. If you guys haven't heard, I'm gonna plug him all the time. He won't do it on our account, but I don't care. I'll plug him all day.
Thanks for the shameless plug.
Yeah, and now I'm mad.
Oh, Jesus.
Because Ferrari's losing it.
Oh, my God. I mean, yeah, I mean, we covered it in the last episode, but, man, you can't get any bigger of a disaster for Ferrari for that, man. That's not good, especially handing it in Canada.
I know you've been driving all day or with the band traveling. So I don't know if you saw this, but I'm pulling it up. I tweeted about it on Twitter. Our boy Binotto, he tweeted or he said in some like press thing that that Ferrari is now more focused on the 675 car, which is the code name for the 2023 car, than their current F175. Okay. Our objective was to be more competitive than last year, and we have achieved that. This season will be primarily to develop the engine and reliability of the car.
Okay, why? I feel like, all right, obviously these guys are world-class engineers. I'm just a dude with another dude talking about a sport because we like it.
Dude with another dude talking about a bunch of dudes driving in cars designed by other dudes.
Just a bunch of guys being dudes. But, like, you're in such a good position to do something with it. Can we ditch the whole, like, oh, we're just focusing on next year. We're just focusing on next year. We're just focusing on next year. Can we focus on this year, please, for, like, once?
Yeah,
that's what it feels like to me.
Look, usually you focus on next year when you don't have a chance to win this year. And it's kind of crazy that Mercedes is the number 3 team by a big gap, and they're still focused on this year. But you guys are looking to next year already. What?
Yeah, no, I mean, it doesn't. I really don't understand. I mean, like I said, I'm just a guy. I don't know shit about anything on that front. But, like, we're going to be 9 races into the season. We're already thinking about next year when the grasp on the championship isn't that far. Like, it's not that far away, and your cars are still in it. It's just you're beating yourself right now. So if you just focused on you just this year, just to do something, you literally could get a driver's championship. And like I said, I'm all for the development of next year, but we've said that for like the past 3 years with Ferrari.
Yeah, and like, I don't want to plug this again because I think we've plugged in like 4 or 5 different episodes, but maybe they should try to check out that Lewis Hamilton Championship Mindset Masterclass because you guys do not have the mindset right now.
Dude, they're just rolling over right now.
They said, "Oh, we're focused on reliability now because our engine finally just decided to poop itself." Like, bro, what?
It's like it's almost like they got complacent with the reliability, and then now everything's starting to go wrong, and they don't even know where to pick up the pieces because one weekend they look great, which is hilarious to me because they look flawless on a Saturday, and then less than 24 hours later, it's like a completely different story.
Bro, the Ferrari team is very much that meme of like the dog in the burning house where he's like just drinking coffee. He's like, "It's fine, yeah. We're fine.
It's fine. Everything is fine."
Yeah, like
everything's burning around me. Everything's fine.
Like, man, dude, it hurts, man. I gotta say, going into the season as a Ferrari fan, I expected them to do good because I was like, they scrapped the last season to focus on this one and the regulation change, but like, you have to be a little prepared for the disappointing outcome of being a Ferrari fan and just like, damn, it still hurts, man. It still hurts.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it still hurts so much because you could have a championship car this year, but for whatever reason, it's not even the focus right now, according to them.
It's not even that you could have one. It's you have one. You literally have one right now.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
But you're not going to work on it because I mean, I guess the engine reliability, that is kind of like their biggest flaw right now. So, sure. that makes sense to focus on that for this car. But like, it seems like you could also play around with different setups and upgrades that is going to help you out next year, anyways, right? It's not like well, I don't know. Maybe they will change the
I was about
regulations.
to say, yeah, I was about to say that's still a big maybe. And even then, I mean, do they even know what they want to tweak right now? Because it's two different problems. Like Sainz had a hydraulic failure, and then Charles just blew his whole freaking engine.
And
So it's
turbo.
like, yeah, like what exactly is going? Obviously, the whole power unit and the whole like durability and power department, they're going to be looked at first, obviously, because it's not their aero department. It's none of that. But I don't, just like we thought with McLaren at the very first race of the season. I don't even think they really know what's wrong right now because they look so flawless on a Saturday, and like I said, less than 24 hours later, it's completely different.
Man, like, did you see the tweet? It was like what Ferrari does to a dude, and it was like all the times where Leclerc's like, "Yeah, qualified P1. It's gonna be such a great weekend. We got to finish the job tomorrow." And then, "Oh, I'm so disappointed in what happened, guys. This isn't the outcome that we were looking for. You know, we'll get them
Dude,
next
it's
week."
like part one, part two, part three, part four, but part five. Like, dude, it's not like Max is converting like non-pole Saturdays to race wins when Leclerc is having about as textbook as a Saturday as you can get every single weekend, day in, day out, and he's not converting it to damn near anything.
Yeah, I know, man. It's wild. It's wild.
And I'm gonna start to notice like his tweets and like the posts and the social media posts after the race, like they're gonna start tapering down of all right, Saturday it's like Saturday, oh great, P1, tomorrow's gonna be such a great day. Now it's gonna taper to all right, Saturday, P1, job's not finished.
Yeah,
like
yeah. To be
like
like,
it's
oh, I
kind of
got
tough to
P1
see.
again, but guess what? My car is gonna fail me, or my strategy that my team gives me
Yeah,
is
I'm
gonna be
not saying
bad.
shit after that.
Yeah, I just wouldn't even tweet if I was him. Just let it happen. Uh,
Dude.
yeah, I mean, I think it kind of leads you to think, if they're focused on next season, do you think that the FIA is going to make some rule changes? Because, like, it seems like a lot of teams now are getting a little fed up with the porpoising deal.
Uh, yeah. I mean, they have to, right? We've seen the porpoising has stuff to do with there's some teams that figure it out to mitigate it other than more, but I think every single team to some degree on any given track is dealing with porpoising. Now,
I
I
mean,
will say the only car that's not is McLaren because they're just too damn slow.
the only
But
car that I feel like has kind of got a handle on it really is the Red Bull.
I mean, yeah, they still porpoise, but it's not even nearly as bad as any of these other teams.
Yeah, like God, Mercedes, jeez, and Ferrari even we would always see, but Ferrari's still fast with it somehow. I mean,
And then I think to go what you just said, like because you're right, Red Bull definitely have managed the porpoising way more than anybody else. But I'd be I'm interested to see, and I'm actually watching it being proven from my eyes, just because Aston Martin copied, which we all know. Like I know it said that
copy passing.
they had that spec car in November of last year, but like since they copied the bodywork, it shows how important ground effects are because Aston Martin's still porpoising bad. So it's really not like you can't just change one thing. It could be anything on your team's car, and it's very unique to you.
It's kind of like the iceberg, where you see the tip of the iceberg, you're like, oh yeah, let's copy that. It looks super nice, but what's under the iceberg or under the car in this case is like what really matters.
Yeah, no, you're right. You'd be
Yeah,
right.
I don't know. I mean, I would hate to see that. Like, I think something definitely needs to change because like when has this ever happened in F1 before where drivers are like bobbling down the track and you got Lewis Hamilton, his old little man's back ache, and like I don't want to see Red Bull penalized for being a great team and nailing the design, like, but at the
I mean,
same time, like
yeah.
you got to put driver safety first. I mean, you guys did the halo and made the new way the cars split and the big crashes they don't catch on fire, but like fuck their backs, I guess.
I mean, no, you're basically spitting facts because it's like You value safety in so many other areas, but then when this becomes an like very big problem, which I know they're trying, I think they're just trying to see how this year goes with it, because it could be it's unique to teams, or it's because of these cars just can't be doing on that tracks. Do tracks need to get resurfaced? Do this that? Like, what do we need to add a different regulation for a car to have a certain part to keep them from porpoising, or this that and the other? Like, I know this year is going to be a very like trial and error year for them to figure out like what they need to do with the regulation.
Hmm.
But at the same time, uh, like I don't. I mean, what do you do? What's the regulation exactly? What are they talking about changing?
I don't think they're talking about changing anything. I'm just speculating. Like, they did these changes because they wanted the racing to be closer than ever
Yeah,
before, but you still see the problem of the front teams are way ahead of everyone else, and like maybe the midfield's closer together and they can follow better, but what's the point of following better if you can't even overtake and you can't even follow the leaders, you know?
no, that's what I mean. You're literally right, because it's like you like you just said, you design this whole thing to be we want the mid pack to be very close, you want the leaders to be very close, but the mid pack to be really close to the leaders. Obviously some teams are going to get it wrong, like we've seen this year, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles, and someone's got to be last. But I
Yeah,
mean,
and I agree, like you can't have it where like, oh, last place is only 20 seconds away from first. Like that's just not realistic. But like
yeah,
when you finished the finish in Baku was uh it was Verstappen and then like a 20 plus second gap Perez, a 20 plus second gap, George Russell, another 20 plus second gap, Lewis Hamilton. Like
that's
that
true, everybody was in
that's
their own race. Yeah.
it just doesn't lead for fun racing, you know? Like I don't know.
I mean, that also could be, I mean, let's be honest here. I think the first two races, the gaps are really close between everyone, but which obviously, I mean, there's only a couple points to go around, but I meaning like in the racing itself, we saw K Mag up there in the top 10 as high as P5. We saw the Hascar period look great. We saw I mean, it exposed the McLaren and exposed the Aston Martin. It exposed the Williams a little bit, but the Williams still like kind of looks good. They're just plagued with Nicholas Latifi, which we'll get to that later. But it's like, I think it also could be just speed and budget of development. I mean, Ferrari and Red Bull, I feel like just have so much more development. Now, Mercedes is definitely like the X factor, because it's like they're always going to have the money for development, and they're just kind of late to the party. They're figuring it out now because their reliability is off the charts.
Yeah.
They're figuring out the porpoising a little bit. Some tracks it's just worse. It's flat out just worse than others. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think they're just late, and the other teams are just making breakthroughs in development a lot sooner than they are.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It leaves a lot to wonder about, and I want to give a shout out to our new follower Eddie. We had a good little engagement with him on Twitter like 2 days ago. I tweeted a fun little tweet about because I saw like the speculation about F1 coming to Africa, and I was like, dude,
Which would be
let's do
sick.
F1 Antarctica. Why not? We can really
Oh, that'd be so awesome.
get all the continents on the board. I mean, you saw Max Verstappen sliding on those snow tires, and I mean, he would win this race obviously, like hands down.
I mean, I liked when you said freaking race at the Antarctica.
Yeah, it's like, come on,
It's
man.
meme worthy, but it's
I
like, come
can't.
on. You see an F1 car on ice?
Can you think of anything wrong with that race?
No, I can't. You spit straight facts on our Twitter. I back it. I back it blindly. You could say anything you want on there, and I got your back.
Yeah, and then yeah, but after that tweet, a new follower Eddie, he was kind of hitting us up, asking some questions. He said he's a new fan to F1, uh, and
Welcome, Eddie.
I know, welcome, yeah, and then he was asking a lot about like, is it always Red Bull, Ferrari, and Mercedes at the top, or like how much do things vary by years? And he's like, it's kind of a little boring just watching Red Bull dominate the whole time, which fair to say, but also like it's Red Bull's time to shine. Like I feel like in F1 everyone gets a little time in the sun, but like he did
Yeah, I
make
was
some
about to
good
say.
points. Like it, if you even look at the history in the sports, like one team runs for like 2 or 3 years on top, and then another team comes up, and but like I don't know. It's like where's the
Not
rest of the
only that,
competition?
I mean, you're right though, and unfortunately, he just happened to jump on the Red Bull train when it was happening because, I mean, hate to tell him, but the last 7, 8 years, it's been Mercedes dominance, and it hasn't even been close. So it's like
Yeah,
it's different from us watching it because it's like, yeah, Red Bull totally deserves the spotlight now. They got it right. They did nothing wrong. They're playing by the book. They haven't protested yet as nearly as much as they did last year. But they have helmet Marco, so that I could eat my words here in like 2, 3 weeks. But like it's they deserve the spotlight now. But I mean, I do feel for them. It does seem like just straight Red Bull dominance, and when they are dominating, it's just not even close.
yeah. He I think his biggest thing was he said Baku was pretty boring, and I didn't watch the race, but it seemed kind of boring when I looked at the results and how far ahead everyone was. Like it was just gap, gap, gap. Like, where's the excitement there? You know?
Yeah, no, I mean you're right. You'd be right. Baku is it's a little bit. It's an exciting city circuit, but since it's so spread out with such long straights, there's opportunity for teams to pull away, and we saw that. So it's like
It's a
the
hit or
people that
miss.
pulled away, yeah, literally, like we saw great battles between Lewis, Ocon, Vettel,
True.
Stroll, all that. We saw great battles there, but that's really about it because everyone else just made their space and kind of had their own race structure and ready to
You
go.
must always keep the space.
Well, you must always leave the space. You must.
Definitely, they left the space there. That's for sure.
Yeah.
um, yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it was a good combo with him. You know, welcome to the sport for sure. And it's like, yeah, I mean, we're pretty new fans as well. I kind of got into it. I had an interest in like 2019, but I didn't get to go to that race in Germany, and then I kind of got into it after you because you were
Man,
hyping us all up about it.
that would have been legendary if you got to see a German GP, bro. That would have been legendary if you got to do that.
Yeah, for real. It was the last race they did in Germany too, so I'm definitely a little bummed that I didn't get to go, but hey, whatever.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's hindsight though.
yeah, hindsight is 2020, as they say.
But
Um,
dude,
yeah. What's up?
we have. I'm. Wow, I am insanely sorry if you heard that. That is my apologies.
You're at a drag
Uh,
strip.
yeah, dude, I'm totally sorry. But we have Canada this week. We have the Canadian
Canada.
GP,
The maple syrup Grand Prix.
the Maple Syrup Grand Prix, the Maple Leaf Grand Prix,
Home of Nicholas Latifi
and
and
Lance Stroll.
Lance Stroll. Yeah. And Lawrence Stroll himself as well.
Yeah, the man himself, the big boss himself,
The
scary
big
guy.
boss. Scary guy. I can say I've definitely never been intimidated by a Canadian ever in my life.
I mean, they're just super nice, man.
They are very nice, and they make great whiskey. You know, shout out to Crown Royal. Not my
Oh
favorite
hell yeah!
personally, but it is good flavor. It's sweet. You know, it's like it's definitely like you you know on SpongeBob where they had like what's it called the what's the, like the tough bar, and then they had the Weenie Hut Junior. I would say
Yeah. Oh, the salty spittoon.
yeah. So you know you got yourself like a Maker's Mark. That's like a salty spittoon, or and then you got your Weenie Hut Junior is your Crown Royale.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
There you go. I see you.
but
I mean, Crown Royale's pretty good though.
I can get down with
I
some
kind of
Weenie
like
Hut
it.
Junior. It's all good.
I
Like
can get down with some Weenie Hut Junior. But speaking of Weenie Hut Junior, battle of the two number two drivers, Lance Stroll and Nicholas Latifi. Who's going to finish above who?
definitely Lance Stroll is better than Latifi, but I think Latifi continues his P16 streak this week.
I mean, are you super confident about that though?
I'm super confident about. Actually,
All right,
he
yeah.
might even go up to P15 this weekend.
Oh, okay. A little bit of Q2 action. Maybe not getting to Q2, but a little bit of Q2 action.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What do you think? What are
Okay.
your thoughts here? Who's the better Canadian?
Well, it looks like it's not raining, so now it's actually like I really have to think about it because if it was raining, Stroll's taking that 100%. Um, But if it's not, I actually think they could both be battling for P16, P15. I'm not even gonna lie.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, because we
I think
know.
you go either way. I think it's a coin flip at this point. I think like Lance Stroll's accident like was kind of weird last race weekend. Like it just like he had it and then just kind of ran it like it just literally looked like he just ran into the wall like and did nothing about it.
Mm,
But I don't know, man. It just they're very underwhelming on their teams, and I'm trying not to be so critical about them. But like Vettel's doing literally everything he can in that Aston Martin, and Albon is doing very, even more than he can in that Williams. I think he's getting stupid results for that Williams right now, just in terms of pace. I don't really care about where he places because, I mean, it's not like they're going to win any races, but just his race pace alone, it's miles past Latifi, and
and he's
I
finished.
don't know what he needs to do.
He's finished in the points several times this year, also.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So yeah, Albin is the truth, and we love that guy here.
Yeah,
And
we're a bunch of Albon stands over here. At least
we're,
me.
we're Al boneheads, you could say.
Oh man,
Uh, no,
you
I
proud of
think
that one?
I am. I'm coining that. Uh, I gotta say, I think what's it called? What's his name? Joe Guan Yu. He's DNFing for sure this weekend. Like, it's just tradition at this point. So that's already at least a P19 for Latifi, and then Mick or Magnussen or both maybe. Who knows? One of them is DNFing for sure because they're on a hot streak of that.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
Leclerc's car is probably just gonna crap out because it sounds like they might pull the turbo off the power unit one to avoid penalties. So like, who knows how much life that's
Ooh.
got in it?
I think it still's got some. It's just you're rolling the dice again because if the other one was worn, I mean, like I said, I don't think they've come out with the official statement of what actually happened to the power unit, but I don't know if it was due to old age or due to too many miles. It ran too hot, but now you're taking a used one and running it equally as hot on almost equally as fast a track. So now you're rolling the dice again.
Yeah, I don't
So
know, man. I have
just
to
take the
say,
penalty.
yeah. I mean, it's not like you guys want to win this year anyway, so what's it matter?
You're developing for next year. Take the freaking penalty. Like if we're
Yeah,
gonna keep that energy.
yeah. Just, I mean, you're not gonna use your budget on upgrades. Apparently, it's all about engines, so just buy like 80 engines. Who cares? Run a new engine every week.
Yeah, screw it. New engine every week. Fresh car.
Like, come
Start from
on, man.
P20 the whole time.
Hey, you know what? I saw someone tweet this, and it kind of hurts that I think it might be true, but they're like, some Ferrari fans are like, oh yeah, just give them the new engine, and Leclerc will pass everyone in the race and catch right back up to the lead. And they're like, nobody, he's not Lewis Hamilton. I'm like, ooh,
Oh,
yeah, I
he said he had to put on hammer time, dude.
Lewis, it's Hamilton, hammer time.
And he just freaking takes off. Like, I mean,
I
Lewis
gotta,
isn't the only one to do it, but he's the most consistent one to do it, isn't he?
I think Checo went from literally last place like
Yeah,
to
2020
first or
Secure Grand
something.
Prix. He went
Yeah.
last place off the first lap and won the race.
Yep. Yeah. He's the truth, man. We love Checo. Big Checo
Yeah,
guy.
big Checo guy. Big Checo guy.
Hey, they can't wait till Big Checo gets out. Okay. No, I think, man, I have to keep saying it. Like, I feel like a lot of people are discrediting Lewis Hamilton this year because George Russell's just outperforming him by far. Like, Mr. Consistent, Mr. Sunday.
Yeah.
But Lewis is that guy, man. Lewis is that dude. He's like, I don't know. I think you're starting to see it now. It seems like he's not getting as much bad luck. I think it's definitely going to be harder for him all year because George Russell has just got way more pace than him in qualifying. But
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's not by much, but I mean, the gap isn't as big as we think it is, but it's very clearly George is putting that car where he needs to be every single weekend. Like, it may not win races, it may not be the fastest, it may not, whatever, but the dude is now Mr. Sunday. He's Mr. Consistency. He's Mr. P5, P4, P3. He's like it literally like I I don't think on paper, I think already just 9 races in or 8 races in, he's already met all of his expectations for this season.
yeah, definitely. He proved he definitely deserves that Mercedes seat.
Oh, 100%. And Toto made the right call for sure.
100%. Yeah, he would have been so dumb if he didn't do that. So yeah, shout out
Yeah.
to Toto. I think really what's happening though is George Russell has just enough more pace than Lewis to stay ahead of like a lot of the experienced drivers, and you keep
Yeah.
seeing Lewis get stuck in these like battles where it's like, oh, you can't really get past someone, and a lot of the time you see him and Alonso and him and Vettel, like well Vettel now, and then like him and Magnussen earlier in the season, and those are all experienced drivers and they really know how to race well, and now the cars are way better at following. So
Yeah.
it's not to say that Lewis is like he's definitely getting like stuck in like a more of an intense fight, whereas George Russell is like, okay, I'm here on my own race, and the rest of the grid's at way far ahead of me because they have the freaking monster power cars, the Red Bull,
Yeah,
the
George.
Ferrari.
Yeah, no, you're right. He finds himself in a very unique situation because it's like the front pulls away, but he's better than the best of the rest. So it's like he's in this weird in between of, all right, I'm Mr. P5 and I'm gonna cruise basically to P5, P4, and if anything happens in front of me, I'm taking advantage of it 100%.
I'm getting a
But here's
podium.
my race. Yeah,
Yeah,
but here's my race. That's literally what it's been the whole time, and I think like what I think it's literally Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes in their own little tier, and
yeah,
then like McLaren, Haas, Aston Martin, Alpine, and basically that's it. And then like Alfa, I'll throw Alfa Romeo in there too. And then
yeah.
like
Valtteri's up there usually.
yeah. It's literally the rest of the grid, and even that, even the bottom isn't super separated from the middle of the grid, but from Red Bull, Ferrari to Mercedes in their own tier, and then the rest. That's basically how it is right now.
Yeah, yeah. I have to agree with you there. I think that's how it is. Uh, but yeah, I think in the interest of just keeping this episode short, maybe we should jump right into predictions potentially.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty.
Let's get it. I mean, we have the Canadian GP. We
Yep.
all know we have two hometown heroes coming back. I don't see them in the top 10, but I'm going to rifle off my top 3 real quick.
All
I
right.
think we're going to have a stunner. I think Russell's going to be P2 for some odd reason.
Oh.
I actually think Leclerc gets a win here and
Oh.
Max gets P3.
All right. Explain how you think Russell's getting P2 over Max.
I don't know. I think Red Bull's just, you know what? I'm saying it out of spite. I think Red Bull's just been too good lately, and they're due for a little pit stop mishap.
Yeah, a little regression. Okay.
Little inconvenience at this rate. I don't know. I feel it in my loins. I think it's right.
Okay. Yeah, it is Canada. A lot of funky stuff happens. I gotta say, I think the bad luck's gonna be still on Ferrari. Leclerc already missed his flight. He already missed the flight.
Oh
Man.
no!
You didn't see that?
No.
Dude missed his flight to Canada, his first flight, and I think that was like yesterday or something. So like, not off to a great start.
Maybe it's reverse psychology though. Maybe we have to make it difficult the whole weekend so we can perform great on Sunday because it's been too smooth up until Sunday.
Yeah. Okay. I can kind of buy into that a little bit, but I think it's gonna be Max P1.
Yeah, you're probably right.
P2. This is tough. It's either Leclerc or it's gonna be Perez. It just depends on if the car is there or not. And
yeah.
I haven't seen Ferrari DNF 2 races in a row, so I think they'll have a car this race. Leclerc gets P2, and then Perez P3, obviously. And
Okay,
then,
so we got Red Bull, Ferrari, Red Bull.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that
What do you
makes
think
the most
signs it?
sense.
You think he's like P4, P5? Maybe even
P4.
P5 even?
P4, and then if anything, he could be P5 if George Russell gets him. I could see that.
That's true, yeah. We all know George Russell's he's either going to be 5th or something higher.
Yeah, I think Carlos Sainz is a P4, P5 driver at this point also.
Interesting.
I mean,
I think
that's how he's been.
both Haas's make it into Q3 as well. I'm just going to throw that one out there.
I think Haas is due for a good race. You know, they've had some bad luck. You're right. I can see that. Do I think Mick gets points this week though is the question.
Nope. He's gonna get Q3. He's gonna get 10th or 9th and start on the grid, and something's gonna happen, or he's just gonna get past.
Oh man, yeah.
It's just the way the cookie crumbles at this point.
Where do we see Vettel finish in this race? Do we see him beating out Lewis?
I think he's in the points, actually. I don't think he beats out Lewis because I think Lewis, after last week, getting driver of the day, showing that, people are still behind him and not giving up on races and really sticking into it, I think Vettel will be behind Lewis, but I'm talking marginally, maybe one position, if not two.
I'm honestly here for a Vettel and Lewis battle for the remainder of the
Dude,
season.
hell yeah. Max is going to pull away with it. I'm done with that one now. So
yeah, chalked. Ferrari already gave up.
Ferrari already mentally gave up, but I'm here for Lewis and Vettel. I like it.
I want to fully convert to Red Bull, but I can't just abandon Ferrari like that. So I'm still a Red Bull fan also. I love Red Bull. Love the team.
Yeah.
I'm turning around on Christian Horner. I'm starting to like him, but he's one shitty comment away from me being neutral on him again. And then obviously we do not like helmet here. We do not like
him. Yeah, no, not big helmet guys over here. Not big helmet guys over here. I can rant for another hour if I had the time.
Yeah. What do you think about what's it called? Alpine, where do you think they finish out this weekend?
You want my honest answer?
Yeah.
As a team, they average P5, P6, but Ocon, you know me, anywhere 8 to 12. Dude's going to find a way. He's literally going to find a way to find something in position. It could be P8, it could be P12. Last week it was P10. I was right on the money. He's the mid of mid, so he's probably going to be there. Alonso,
hear me out. Lewis, Vettel, tricky. Alonso.
You know what? I back it, and the only thing I would change, if there was a change, I would switch Alonso and Vettel, because I think if Lewis gets a little bit of a gap in front of him, he can definitely defend it. But Lewis and Vettel Vettel and Alonso will literally go back and forth the whole race.
I hope we get to see that. That'd be pretty spectacular.
That would be super sick.
All right. I think that's a good amount of predictions that we made here. You're seeing a big disaster for Red Bull. I could see.
I just think they're due. I just think they're due, man. Things are going way too smooth for Red Bull right now. I think they're going to get a tad bit complacent, which I know, Max is the lion and he's never going to get complacent. I understand that, but I don't know. I think they might have a little bit unfortunate circumstances this weekend. Don't know why, but I feel it.
Okay, you heard it here first. We got not a great week for Red Bull. We're the Lockup Podcast. This episode 19. You can check us out on Twitter, TLUPF1. We're on YouTube, and you can find
I'm saying this in the episode now, so we're responsible for it. We're going to get Eclipse Guy, I promise. We're going to get better at this.
We got to get Eclipse Guy. We don't have the time to do it personally, but if you're Eclipse Guy and you're hearing this, hit us up. You can email us.
Holla at your boy.
You can DM us. You can comment on us. We don't care, bro. Just hit us up.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, Chris, it was a pleasure, man. Thank you for bearing with me during this, dude.
Yeah, rock on, dude. Rock on tonight.
All right,
later, guys.
Later.